that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Welcome back to the Bottom Line Wrestling Cast, the career of Stone Cold Steve Austin. This is episode 16, in which we've entitled Owen 316. We're covering October through November of 1997. JV, how's it going this week?
Much better than the second half of last week heading into the new year. Fucking sick as a dog, but feeling a little better now on a lot of meds. Got me feeling up, you know?
Got you all drugged up?
Yeah, got me all drugged up. Had to deal with all the scuzzy, sick people in the doctor's office last week at the walk-in. It's like if you don't have anything there when you walk in, you definitely have something when you leave, because it's just a bunch of fucking slobs coughing everywhere. And like they don't cover their mouths. Old people, they cough, and they don't cover their mouths. They just freaking let it all out in the air. No fucking etiquette.
Yeah, that's a shitty way to start. Yeah.
You need to have some doctor office etiquette, you know?
Yeah. I think so. I just had my birthday.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be 21?
21, yeah.
Yeah. You going out drinking this week, huh? Don't have to use that ID anymore.
Got the real one now.
Yeah.
21. Funny. I was thinking, like, I'm almost double the drinking age now.
Yeah. I remember when you were making fake permits so we could get into the movies.
Yeah.
18-plus movies.
You know, fake driver's permits.
Yeah.
Because they were paper, so I could get away with making those.
Yeah.
People go to the movie theaters.
We were running that black market.
You know, we think we'd be doing it for some crazy reason, you know, to get like cigarettes, so to get buy booze or something. But we just want to go see rated R movies.
It's because we were good kids. We were good kids. Good kids with good morals.
Yeah.
We're all high ground.
So, enjoyed the birthday this weekend and had football all weekend to watch. Wild card football.
Yeah, which was good.
Yeah. So, figured out who the Patriots are going to play, and obviously they get the worst matchup possible.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Chargers are a tough team.
I want to play the Chargers because the Ravens play a tougher. Their defense worried me.
Yeah.
And I could see our team just not showing up, and then I don't know. I guess the Chargers, they play that cover too. Brady's going to destroy that. You got to the way you beat the Pats is you got to man up on them on defense.
You're right.
And I think our defense can hold Phillip fucking Rivers.
Oh, I hope so, because they have the weapons.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
At least Baltimore, they don't have shit.
No, that's true. They're as one-dimensional as you can really get on offense.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to coming up this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Mean Gene Oakland passed away last week.
Yep. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Mean Gene. So, a lot of podcasts covering that this week. We got our fill of Stone Cold to talk about this week. So let's just get into last week. Last week we had the Stunner, and it's actually one of our most listened to podcasts, right up there in like the top 5 podcasts. So people are definitely interested in checking that out. So hopefully those that check that out are listening to this episode too. Hopefully we pulled them in.
Yeah, hopefully we start trending with the way Raw ratings are trending at this time, which I think we're starting to trend upward, right?
Yeah.
I hope.
So on last week's episode, we were kind of like befuddled with the word hoser, and you were thinking that it had to do with Hoosiers.
Yeah.
But I looked it up. I'm surprised I didn't realize what the hell it was, but hoser is just another word for like an idiot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's a Canadian term.
Oh, figures.
Yeah, It became popular, I guess, when Rick Moranis was doing like a sketch comedy show.
Rick Moranis, no shit.
So it was like, stupid hosers, stupid hosers.
Oh man, Rick Moranis.
So that's
damn.
that.
I never thought I'd hear that on the podcast. That name.
Yeah. Rick Moranis.
Of what? Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and Ghostbusters fame.
Ghostbusters.
Little
What was his
Giants.
name in Ghostbusters?
I forget. I should know this too because I watched that movie. That was my favorite movie as a kid. I can't believe I can't remember it.
He's an accountant.
Yeah.
He's out on the ledge trying to.
I know he was the key master.
Yeah, the key master.
Need to put his key inside Sigourney Weaver, the gate master.
Zool.
Zool.
Yeah, so last week we were covering the Stunner, and that was the month of Stunners. So you had JR get stunned, then followed up by Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry Lawler, then finally Vince McMahon, where we left off on the September 22nd episode. So throughout that month, though, there was the feud going on with Owen Hart, which is going to continue on throughout this next month. But a lot of the groundwork for this upcoming match that they're going to have at Survivor Series 97, a lot of it was already all done, and we talked about a lot of it last week. So I just want to run through, recap their little feud that they have going on at this point from the time that he takes the pile driver at SummerSlam through all the way up to the point where we are now, and then we'll continue from that point on. Just want to focus in on all the Owen Hart drama over the last month. So you have, starting off with Owen Hart the very next night after Raw, after SummerSlam on Raw, talking about how he has compassion and he shouldn't have cared that much, and that's why he lost. That's why he lost the title. Owen Hart is going to be in a match with Dude Love later that episode, and Stone Cold's going to run out. There's a lot of run-ins. Austin runs in a lot over the last month in Owen Hart matches. He's going to cost Owen and Bulldog the tag team titles at Ground Zero. So Austin is pissed about dropping the belt, so he stuns JR. Sarge suspends him the next day for his actions at Ground Zero, and he's going to strip Austin of the IC title. So Austin's very frustrated. He stuns Sarge. Austin attacks Owen during a match, after a match actually, with the Patriot, and that leads to an IC title tournament match, Goldust, where Owen gets run in again by Stone Cold. So Stone Cold is kind of like the antagonizer in this. He's the one going after Owen, and it's because pissed off because he got landed on his head at SummerSlam.
Yep.
So Owen is fed up with all these attacks, so Owen puts a restraining order on Austin. So Austin's kind of pissed off about this restraining order, so he takes it on Jerry Lawler. Lawler gets stunned. And then finally, on September 22nd, Austin attacks Owen Hart. McMahon is fed up with it. He goes in the ring and starts yelling at Austin. Austin gives it in the stunner. That's where we left off. So if you look back in retrospect like we do here, you kind of see like Austin is the one kind of, just doing all the things bad. He's breaking all the rules.
Yep.
I mean, it's fun, but if you had to choose a side of who's right here, probably Owen Hart.
Yeah. Stone Cold's definitely raising hell. He's definitely the antagonizer, instigator, or whatever you want to call him. He's lighting the fire here.
All right, so that brings us now to the following week after Vince McMahon got stunned. So that's Raw 227 from September 29th, 1997. It's going to be a taped episode in Albany, New York. So I'm going to bang out some of the side notes before we get going here. But some of the side things that happen on that episode, you have the HBK, Triple H, Rude, and China. They're opening the show. They're not called DX yet. Okay? They're getting there to that point. Triple H is going to talk about how WWF is a cheap whore. He's going to take things into his own hand. The Hart Foundation comes out, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H are doing that like head turn thing to each other.
Yep.
That's a classic scene that they show in like all the DX footage. This very day, if they ever show like a recap of DX, they always show that the head turns to each other.
That might have been their first. This might have been their first great moment together. Was that right?
Yeah, could have been. Yeah. So Jerry Lawler's like, look at them. They're like Beavis and Butthead. Yep. It's like, Just thought that was a dated reference. Pretty funny. And then you get the Brian Pillman skits, which had been going on. We talked about some of it last week. Pillman is in bed with Marlena, and one thing that stood out when on this episode of Pillman's X-Files, it says, "Hopefully this is the last of Pillman's X-Files," which it will be, unfortunately.
Not to laugh at that, but damn,
right. It's just like
what a coincidence.
Right. Yeah, definitely coincidence. And he's going to pass away within that week. So by next Monday, Brian Pillman's not with the world any longer. So that's really it for side notes. We do have an Austin promo, a pretty decent size one. 5 minutes. I'll play it for you in a minute. But Austin comes out with some new merch. It seems like he has new merch every week now. So he has his Stone Cold baseball hat that he's going to end up wearing a lot over the upcoming weeks. So we'll take a listen to that clip, and then we'll talk about everything after it. All right, so take a listen.
Are you going to stop that so I can talk to your sorry ass? All I've been hearing all week is how you got something to say to me. You got something to say to me, then get your little carcass up here. You might as well bow down. You try to play that big shot routine, I'll knock your damn head off. Get your ass in here. Get your ass in the ring.
Listen to these people, JR, they want to see it
You
one
got
more
something
time.
to say, big shot, spill it.
Here goes nothing. Firing
You
clean.
are either a certifiable lunatic or you just don't give a damn.
He's pushing his luck, JR. He's gonna get it.
And quite frankly, I don't give a damn anymore either. I've allowed WWF officials to be placed in a position of jeopardy, and all because of everyone trying to protect you from yourself. No more. No. No more. It stops right now.
Here it comes. Right now. Right now, watch him.
You're trying to lay down the law with Steve Austin. What it sounds like to me is you're about to fire my ass. So if you want to fire me, big shot, you go ahead and fire me, because I really, truly don't give a rat's ass what you do.
This might be the greatest thing we've ever seen. Stone Cold fired and Vince McMahon stunned.
Go ahead and fire me. Do something. Say something.
You got three options, all right?
Can you count that high?
Yeah, I can count that high. You've got three options. Number one, right here next week, you can bring that certificate from your doctor that says, okay, Stone Cold is capable of wrestling. Although no doctor in the world's ever going to sign it, because you're not capable, are you? No. Number two, another option just might be that Stone Cold will return to action here in the World Wrestling Federation under one condition, and that is that you totally absolve the World Wrestling Federation from any liability whatsoever, which means you sign a little document that says that you come back, and if you get hurt, it's nobody's fault but yours. You won't sue the WWF, you won't sue any of the officials. In other words, you get hurt, you come on back, you sign the paper, you get hurt, your problem. Is that understood? And there's one other option.
Hold the WWF harmless.
And that other option, I've got to unfortunately do what I've got to do then in terms of termination.
Uh-oh. Brings back memories. Here we go. Here we go.
Well, if I wanted to, son, I'd drop you right on that stack of dimes you call a neck, and you wouldn't have nothing to do about it. You understand that? The snap of my fingers, I'd turn your lights right out.
And he means it, too.
First of all, no doctor knows my neck better than I do. You can look at an X-ray, an MRI, hell, a damn Polaroid picture. It really don't make a damn what a doctor says. Steve Austin makes up his mind, and that's the bottom line. Look at me. or you can bring your little paper out here. Maybe I'll sign it, and maybe I'll shove it right up your ass. Thirdly, if you decide to fire me in front of the world, I will damn sure beat your ass in front of the world worse than you've ever been beaten in your life. And that's the bottom line, Vince, because Stone Cold said so.
What about it, JR? Did he just get a reprieve or what?
Well, sounds like Austin's got some thinking to do.
So you just heard it there. McMahon is going to give Austin 3 options. He either has the option of get a doctor's note. You can come back if you absolve of all your liability of injury, so you can't sue if you get injured. Or the third one is you're fired. So what do you want to do? So Austin, as you just heard, is still defiant, even though he has limited options. He says, maybe I'll sign it and shove it up your ass. And then he just straight up says, I'll beat your ass if you fire me.
He's controlling this whole promo right from the get-go. He shows up like a Tasmanian devil. He's worked up. He's just controlling this. Like Vince thinks he has control, but he don't.
Right. Once he walks in, he says, "You got something to say? Say. You're gonna play this big shot routine. I'll knock your damn head off."
Spineless boss. It's like reminds him how he dropped him with the snap of his fingers. Yeah.
Right. Man's like, "You're a nut. You're a nut. I don't give a damn either. I'm a nut now too," or whatever he's saying. He's like
and Stone Cold just being very ignorant. And no doctor knows his neck better than Stone Cold himself. They could take This is mentioned like you take a Polaroid picture or something. Yeah. That's a dated reference.
Big time. Yeah, especially in '97.
Yeah.
Wasn't much use of Polaroids. Although the Outkast song hadn't even come out yet about Shake It Like a Polaroid. So that's a dated song too.
Yeah, it is now. It's probably like 15 years old.
So Austin continues to taunt McMahon. He's gonna ring the bell even outside the ring. Gives the birds to McMahon. This is kind of like a turning point for Vince McMahon in getting forced to become a heel, kind of, because now Austin's the babyface. He's not going to be the heel. So McMahon's gradually going to go into that role of being the heel boss that is trying to screw, the fan's favorite, fan's favorite wrestler.
And the boss is usually always the heel.
Right.
In entertainment. Always. In some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, like any movie, the boss is always the heel.
Like
it's never a nice, good boss.
J. Jonah Jameson, Perry White,
So from there, it leads to Owen Hart cutting a promo about his being very unhappy. Put it that way. Owen is he's actually wearing a new shirt, which is the title of our episode. Owen 316. I just broke your neck.
Love that shirt, by the way. It's one of my favorite shirts of all time.
It's awesome.
As good as Austin 316 is, damn. Owen 316, I just broke your neck is a damn good compliment to that.
Yeah.
Nice counter.
So Owen's going to come out. He's going to be unhappy about it. He's going to be followed by a riot squad. So he has this restraining order against Austin, and he wants to be protected because Austin is just so unpredictable. So he has protection with him, and he's just fed up with Austin wreaking havoc all throughout the WWF. And he even points out to McMahon, he says, he's going to ruin what your father started. He's ruining what you're trying to do here. And I thought it was ironic because Austin is actually the one saving the business at this point.
Who's bringing in the money again? Why does he have hats now?
Why does he have a denim vest?
Yeah.
So Austin doesn't probably come as much of a surprise. It is a very cool visual, but Austin is one of the Riot Squad officers. And he's going to surprise Owen and give him the stunner, and then he runs off into the crowd. So I thought that was some good stuff right there.
You know what I thought it was great at the time, but rewatching it now, you kind of pay attention a little more. It's kind of funny how the other Riot Squad people just stand outside the ring as Stone Cold's there, like taking his gear off in the middle of the ring and waiting for Owen to turn around. Then he stuns Owen, and then they all run in to get him.
Right.
It's
just kind of funny. They be running in right away?
Yeah.
Okay, so that now will bring us to, that was a go-home show for the In Your House Bad Blood pay-per-view, which Austin is not ready to compete at. So, and then finally, just with that last example there of him being a Riot Squad member, is they need to find something creative every week for him to do to keep him interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's the only thing. I mean, as good as the other stuff is that we're watching during this time frame, I mean, that's all. This is all they got. Stone Cold's really still all they have, as far as like a big marquee, keep people's eyes on the show type of talent.
Right, because HBK and Triple H just at that point.
Yeah, right. They're kind of building to that now.
Right. Right.
Well,
so that'll bring
I guess
us
you have other stuff, but you know what I mean. Like he's
the big star.
Yeah, he's a superstar.
Exactly. They need to keep him involved. So that brings us to Bad Blood, which is October 5th, 1997 from St. Louis, Missouri. And there's going to be an Owen Hart match. So that's kind of where Austin is involved. Owen cuts a promo about how Austin needs to be kept away from him. He has a restraining order. And we're going to have this match, Owen Hart versus Farouk. For the IC title, so Farouk's title shot here. And the news just came out about passing away of Brian Pillman earlier that night. And when Owen Hart comes out to the ring, you can tell he's like, fuck this, I don't want to be here. You just see it in his face, like,
yeah, you can.
How are we having this match now? So, Owen Hart comes out to a new video package, too. I don't know if you noticed that. His new music.
Yeah, I did.
I think the music sucks.
See, I like the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like it in the video game, too.
Oh, it was in a video game?
Yeah, it was in one of the games at that time.
Oh.
Because I remember the old MIDI MIDI file, music, like the 8-bit style shit.
Yeah. So, as I was saying, Owen looks like he doesn't really want to be there. Same as many other people on the show, probably. Especially Steve Austin, who's really close with Pillman. And Austin gets announced because he's being ordered to hand out the IC title, present it over to the winner. So this is the end of a tournament, Owen Hart versus Farouk. And whoever wins is going to get that IC title. So Austin comes out being like a big pain in the ass at ringside. He's just like ringing the bell. He's going to every commentator. Taking off the headset. He goes over to the French table. He goes to the Spanish table. He's doing the same thing. Just being a pain in the ass.
It's hilarious though when he's harassing the French announcers. Oh,
yep,
that's so good.
And another thing that's funny about it is McMahon even points out like he's taken away from the match, and that's what I was thinking too because it's Owen Hart and Farouk. It's for an IC title. It should be interesting to see what goes on here, who wins the match. But the attention's all on Austin, of course, as it should be.
Yeah, I mean he's hijacking the title match essentially. But what they kept a split screen almost the whole match.
Right.
So even from like a production standpoint, they're not helping their cause. So even though Vince says that, I still think Vince knows no one gives a shit.
Right.
About Farouk against Owen Hart. So how do we make this interesting? All right, we got to get him on TV again. I don't know.
Nope. Yeah, so he comes out, he's pulling all that business. He's actually going to help Owen Hart win. So he's going to crack Farouk, Austin being key. He's going to crack Farouk with the IC title. And, everyone's wondering, why is he helping Owen? It seemed pretty obvious from the start. He wants to win the belt from Owen. So he helps Owen win the title because he wants to beat him for it.
Yeah,
eventually.
He wants his gold back.
Yeah. So, JR leaves off with one quote, which is pretty good because it's going to set up what we're going to talk about next week. It says, Austin may have just started a war with the nation. So, that is the beginning of a potential feud with either Farouk or The Rock, or D'Lo Brown, Kama. So, and it's going to lead to that. So, they set it up here at Bad Blood. that after Owen Hart, going to be the Nation that Austin's involved with. That's it for Bad Blood. So now we'll go to the next Raw, which is on October 6, 1997.
Can
That's
I,
Raw 228. Yeah.
I want to throw in a side note here for Bad Blood. It's the first ever Hell in a Cell match.
Oh, yeah.
Kane debuts, and it's the
Yep.
first HBK, the first really, real big main event between HBK and Undertaker, and that's a 5-star match, I think.
It is 5-star.
Yeah, I kept it on. It was.
Yeah, I watched it.
I forgot how great.
It was awesome.
I forgot how great that was. I remember being like starstruck and just like filled with emotion as a kid when this happened. Kane shows up and shit. It was.
So awesome.
Yeah.
Just the music. I love the music, too.
Yeah.
Music was Kane music. Basically the same music he still uses.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's little, very minor differences now. It's still the same theme at its core.
Right. So on to Raw 228 from Kansas City, Missouri. We have the 10-bell salute for Brian Pillman. I believe this is the first time that the whole crew, I don't know, all the wrestlers, they go onto the ramp. They do that often at times now before Raw starts, right at the beginning of Raw. And this is the first time that they do it here for Brian Pillman. So, let's see. Now that they have the big ramp, you can fit everybody out there.
Yep.
So we'll get into some of the side notes quickly here. There's a lot of side notes I put. So let's see what we got here. So Shawn Michaels now is the number one contender because that match at Hell in a Cell was a number one contender match. I don't even know if they announced that prior to the match, but that's what it was.
Yeah, I forget.
Yeah.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah, so Shawn Michaels wins the title shot at Survivor Series against Bret the Hitman Hart. We know what's going to happen there.
Yep.
Michael Cole is doing his first in-ring interviews with Triple H and HBK, and he gets a big win. I thought it was funny to just bully that guy around.
Yeah. They end up doing it for a while, too. It becomes like part of their thing.
Yeah, they they do the old schoolyard thing where you kneel behind somebody and then push them over.
Yeah. That sucks. I've never had that done to me.
Oh, me either.
Like,
imagine that.
No, I've seen it happen to people, and you can feel it. You don't have to have it happen to me to know how it feels,
Cruel.
Yeah, it's like, shit. That's low.
Double team.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now that's bullying.
Yeah. Kids these days don't know bullying. Online bullying. Oh, some physical bullies. Where'd those guys go? They need to make a comeback. We need physical bullies back. And everything will be right in the world.
Yeah, if you have the physical bullies, then you don't have to see bullies online.
Yeah, here's
They
an
just go
Indian
away.
sunburn. Here's a noogie. Kids even get noogies anymore?
Doubt it.
Except from their parents, that like dated parents.
And from their
probably.
friends.
Oh yeah, like us. We got noogies. What?
So this is the episode where Shawn Michaels does the whole big thing where who's the showstopper? Me. Main eventer, me. And then he talks about how the Click is the greatest force in professional wrestling. I think that's what they were maybe going with at first, is not to be DX, but to just Click.
Yeah.
They'll change their mind, of course, which is a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the curtain call gets played. They show that. They point out, that's Razor and that's Diesel, and they were bad guys, and I was a good guy. And so it's the first time that it's actually recognized on WWF TV, so that's why it's a good side. While they're all out there, Bret Hart comes out and he calls Triple H and HBK homos. Says the H is safe for homo.
Yeah.
We talked about it before with Bret Hart, that he's always like on this whole gay kick thing.
Yeah, he's very homophobic. For a guy, think about it.
Right.
For a guy that preaches, when he was super anti-American, America sucks, he's in Canada. Like, he made it seem like none of this stuff existed in Canada. And he comes
Right.
across as, wow, such a homophobe.
Right.
The whole time. Even
Yep.
Canada as a country. when you get into it. When they have the when we get into Survivor Series 97, we'll talk about it.
All right.
At the end of the show here.
So Triple H's response is funny. It's just, "Oh, I'm no queer." That's what he says. Imagine this shit going on today.
No way. Oh man, Social Justice Warriors would be everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Their stock would tank tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the very next day.
Big thing that comes out of this is it's the first time that Shawn Michaels is going to say "suck it" on the mic.
Oh.
Somebody says it.
All right.
Yeah, he says, I got 2 words for the Hitman. Suck it.
Nice.
And he also points out to Bret Hart that the wrestling business doesn't need Bret Hart, but it needs Heartbreak Kid. So that's the main side note there. We had an unfortunate interview with Melanie Pillman. They had a nice video tribute to Pillman, but trying to interview his wife, days after. That's shitty.
Yeah, that's pretty. I wonder who asked that question. The balls, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, you want to interview? And we'll put you on TV.
Yeah, and she's like just torn up too, crying.
Yeah.
She can't even get a sentence out. Like, yeah, call Vince. Mess. Mark Marrow comes back. He has a nice little short haircut. He's a boxer gimmick.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I noticed was funny. He has this new finisher, TKO. It's kind of like a swinging neck breaker, but it comes off looking like the F5.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Looks like Brock Lesnar's move. And I just thought it was funny because, well, Lesnar's going to take his wife, and he's gonna, and he took his finishing move.
And he became a real fighter.
Right, and he's an actual fighter.
Mark Merrill. Mark Merrill's doing good things, though. Isn't he doing, like, motivational speaking now?
Yeah, he is. Actually, even Lesnar's outfit is the same as Marvelous Mark Merrow.
Yeah, basically.
The shorts.
Yeah, there's shorts.
It's got the shorts on. Yeah. Wow, Lesnar.
Damn. So Lesnar is Mark Merrill. Got it.
Yeah. Jim Cornette has this little segment that he has over the next few weeks where it's called, like, That's My Opinion or something.
And these are awesome.
Yeah, they're like shoot-style interviews where he's just unleashing. And that's the great thing about Cornette is he just says whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to his podcast, it's just he doesn't give a shit what he says and about whoever.
I don't agree with everything, but who does? Who agrees with everything someone has to say? But, man, he's entertaining because he's so brutally honest. Like, he addresses NWO on air, which is interesting because it's another instance where WWF is directly addressing the competition.
Right, and they usually never do that.
Yeah, so just in this one, he addresses NWO, he addresses Kevin Nash directly, Scott Hall directly, and Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and Sean Waltman, too.
Yeah, Sean Waltman, yeah. He calls Kevin Nash the biggest no talent in the industry, a big manipulator who knows 6 moves. Like, phew.
6 moves of doom.
Yeah.
He even says about, like, Sean Waltman that, the only reason why he gets to hang around is because he's funny when he's drunk.
Yeah, and he throws up on himself, or he says something like that.
Yeah. Funny if he's throwing up on himself.
And then you think, it's like, is everything Cornette has to say salt or truth? And I think it's a perfect mix of both.
Yes. Sure, he's not lying to himself about it. Saying what he means. So I thought that was interesting. So those are good interviews to take a look at over the next few weeks. Check out the episodes. Kane's going to come back down, and he's going to do this months. He's going to just come out and interrupt in a match. Somebody's ass, chokeslam people. So I just thought it was cool that in this week he actually comes out and he chokeslams Jeff and Matt Hardy. Pretty cool.
Yep.
You get in your main event here, you have Bret Hart versus Triple H, which was cool. But the main thing that comes out from this is that this is when HBK sticks the Canadian flag up his nose. And he's running around like a child outside the ring with the flag up his nose. And then one cool thing that happened here is that China is involved, and she's going to attack Bret Hart. And I love how Bret Hart just no-sells a punch from China.
He gets that, does he?
Yeah. Like, she gives him a punch, he doesn't even react to it. I just thought this was, like, perfect. I was like, good for him.
Yeah.
Like, why is he going to react to a girl hitting him?
Yeah.
Immediately after that, he gets super kicked, and then he gets counted out, and Triple H. They announce him as Triple H, so they're starting to call Hunter Hearst.
Oh, because I know he's still coming out to his old music and shit.
Yeah,
which is weird.
Yeah, stupid classical music.
Dun, dun, I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's classical. I don't know the classical name because all those names have too many vowels and accents in them. All those old school classical song names. So.
Right. So that now brings us to Austin. Austin's actually going to come out. He's going to have an interview with JR. So we're going to play that clip for you, and then we'll talk about it after. Take a listen.
Before we get down to what I hope is going to be the right decision that you make.
You're damn right. You better hope it's the right decision, too, or I'll whip your ass.
Oh. Here we go. Vince is not having a great night in Kansas City.
All right, let me ask you, why did you do what you did last night at Bad Blood? Why did you interfere in that matchup with Farouk and Owen Hart? What was the purpose of striking Farouk with that championship belt?
Because I do what I want, when I want. And if I don't want to answer your little questions, I ain't got to. What I do ain't none of your business. I don't give a rat's ass if you own the WWF or not.
All right. Okay, you want to play hardball, that's fine. So indeed, I assume since you don't have any paper with you, I don't see it anywhere, you didn't bring that certificate from a doctor that says you're capable of wrestling, right?
Hell, I ain't been to the doctor, so I ain't got no piece of paper, jackass.
Oh, I don't think Austin's going to be Employee of the Month.
All right, I have mine. I have this release form that can reinstate you immediately. If you just sign it and state that no one in the WWF is ever responsible for you and your own actions simply because we want to protect you from yourself. But if you want to go back and compete and wind up in a wheelchair, that's your business. But in order to do that, you got to sign this piece of paper.
McMahon just don't want to get sued, right? Well, yeah. Would you like to be sued, King?
I think everybody here wants you to sign this piece of paper and get back in the squared circle. And I don't want to even think about the alternative.
You're damn right, you don't want to think about that. You sit here every damn Monday night, every pay-per-view, and you say, Steve Austin, the toughest SOB in the World Wrestling Federation, and that sure is the damn truth. But if I was to come out here and sign your little piece of paper right off the bat, I'd be the dumbest SOB in the WWF, and that ain't true. So what I will do is I'll sign your little piece of paper. If you'll sign a piece of paper that says you're going to give me Owen Hart's ass the next opportunity you can give it in an Intercontinental title match, because I won't have it any other way.
There's the method behind his
madness. All right, let me get this straight. You'll sign this and return to action as long as you get Owen Hart in a match. You've got him. Congratulations. You got my word on it.
In an Intercontinental title match. I want to beat the living hell out of Owen Hart. But when you drop Steve Austin on his head, when you damn near paralyze Steve Austin, when you take what's taken me 8 years to get, I want his ass, but I want my belt back. So if I get that, you damn right, I'll sign my life away.
You've got my word on it.
Stun him.
You can put your little hand down in your pocket or wipe your ass with it.
Oh, good Lord.
You don't think for one split second that I'm gonna come out here and shake your hand up and down and expect to trust you. You show me a piece of paper that says I get the match. You show me that piece of paper, you sign that, and I'll sign yours not a second before, and that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
on, punk. Let me tell you what the bottom line is. And I'm going to kick your hunk ass. You think that's because you parade around with a bald head and tattoos on each arm that makes you tough? Well, let me tell you what makes you tough. Tough is waking up on a winter's morning having to fight your brothers for one jacket to see who wears it to school. Tough is having to eat collard greens with your hand because you don't have a fork to go around. Let me tell you what tough really is. Getting up on a bright Christmas morning watching your younger siblings cry because they don't have brand new bicycles to ride around on like everyone else. Yo, you parade around here and use the word ass and think you're a big man. That makes you tough. No, let me tell you where I'm from. And when we use the word ass, what the context is. You stuck your business in your nose in nation business. And let me tell you something, punk. The way we use the word ass is that your ass belongs to me and the nation. So get it ready, sit on it, look at it all you can right now. Because the bottom line is, it belongs to Farouk.
Shut up. When I get through with my legal problems, when I get all this BS solved between me and Vince McMahon, you damn right I'll take every one of you sorry pieces of trash on.
Bring it on.
Every
Bring it
damn
on.
one of you.
Bring it
Because it ain't a race thing, it ain't a color thing, it's a me kicking your ass thing, and can't nobody stop.
When you bring it on, we'll see about that, punk.
Don't worry, we'll stop you.
What else is going to happen here tonight?
All right, actually, yeah, that interview was with McMahon, not JR. So JR does make a comment, though, right away, saying Austin may get his ass fired tonight, or fired in a minute. And one thing I noticed first off is that Austin comes out, he has a hat on backwards, his Stone Cold hat, and then, like, seconds later, he just reconsiders and puts it forward. He has it backwards, and he puts it forward. It just made me think of something that a baseball coach at the school that I work at had said about wearing hats backwards.
What do you say?
Says there's only two reasons to wear a baseball hat backwards. It's if you're a catcher or if you're sucking dick.
Wow, that's a old school joke.
I was wondering. I was like, maybe Austin heard that. And
yeah, it does sound like an old school joke he'd know.
You're right. So Austin's in the ring. He got shit flying into the ring. McMahon's questioning him about Farouk. He's like, why'd you do that? Why'd you help Farouk? Obvious, dude. He wants Owen Hart in the ring.
Yeah.
Austin's not even really pointing that out. Well, last week he was given his options, his three options, to get a doctor's note or waive his right to sue if he gets injured or just be fired. Austin doesn't have the medical clearance. McMahon asked him, and I love Austin's responses. I ain't been to a doctor, so I don't have a piece of paper, jackass. And again, Austin's in the wrong here. He's like, you were told last week to go get a doctor's note if you wanted to do that, if you want to come back. You didn't, and he didn't do it.
Like, admitted insubordination as an employee.
Right.
I didn't do that.
I'll have a piece of trash, jackass. Piece of paper, jackass. But he says that he'll sign only if it's an IC title match. So he'll sign the clearance and waive his right to sue and all that if he can compete, but it has to be an IC title match versus Owen Hart. So Vince McMahon gives it to him.
Yep.
You got it. Congratulations. Vince is going to try to shake his hand. Austin tells him to wipe his ass with the hand. And it's nice because, this is all goes along with DTA. Don't trust anybody.
Yep.
So Austin doesn't want to shake his hand. He wants the name on the line. He doesn't want just a handshake agreement. He wants McMahon to
and
write
he wants
his name.
McMahon to sign first.
Right.
Which is a great move.
Yeah.
Because he didn't, back to your DTA point.
Right. So this is now going to lead to the Nation coming out. Farouk's pissed off that he got cost the IC title at Bad Blood. He's going to come out and he's going to call Steve Austin a honky ass.
Yeah, he's rambling here. This guy's like off the rails. He doesn't even make sense right from the onset, like right from the get-go.
Right. He says like something like you walk around here with your bald head and tattoos on each arm. You think that makes you tough?
Yeah.
Like Austin doesn't have any tattoos
like,
on
did you
his
do your
arm.
homework? Like you're getting a big spot here. You're the hottest guy in wrestling. You got a spot to make a good, shoot on him very well there, and you don't even know what the fuck he looks like. This guy's on TV like 80% of the show right now. Where the fuck did you see tattoos, Farouk? Someone asked Ron Simmons that. Damn. Where'd you see tattoos?
He has one tattoo on his leg.
Yeah.
Texas. That's it.
You might have thought he was like Randy Orton.
Right. Yeah, so Farouk fucks up there big time. Says that your ass belongs to me and the nation, and he's mad because Austin cost him the title, and Austin just like, shut up.
He totally just disregards everything he says, discredits him.
But I love the line that comes from that is, this ain't a race thing, it ain't a color thing, it's a me kicking your ass thing.
Yeah, great line. That's the punchline of the promo right here.
Oh yeah, sure. So Austin, he's gonna punt Jerry Lawler's crown too, right into the crowd. I talked about it last week briefly, but the crown goes into the crowd, and you get the kid wearing it before they go to commercial break. You got the crown on his head.
Yeah.
So that concludes that. There was an injury report update that came out in the Observer during this week. And it was that Austin met with Dr. Joseph Torg, Philadelphia. So that last week when he was in the interview with JR in the hotel room, that's when we go see that doctor. We didn't know his name, and they said it didn't matter, but hey, got it anyway. Joseph Torg. And he got his medical clearance for October 18th. So he's supposed to be able to wrestle starting on October 18th, which is a little over a week away at that point. And the meeting is reported to be sobering to Austin. And basically, they told him, if you take another hard bump like you did, then you'd be paralyzed or temporary paralysis. So, not great news coming from that meeting with the doctor.
Nope.
Even though he does get a clearance to get back in the ring, but it's a risky clearance. So later on in the night, you get Owen Hart. He's kind of pissed off still. And he can't wait to get his hands on Austin. And, he's fired up. And he even brings up, and I thought this was good because it fit. He's saying, Austin tried to get me disqualified and it backfired. So even Owen's not admitting, that Austin was trying to help him to get the title.
Yeah.
He's still trying to point out, Austin meant to disqualify me, but he screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
So Owen's defending the IC title later that night against Hawk, which is just kind of random IC title match.
Yeah, what the hell?
IC title match versus Hawk. Okay,
imagine if Hawk would have won.
Yeah. So the Godwins come out. They interfere in the match. That's about it. I was surprised Austin didn't come back out. Match. You would think he would run in again.
Yeah.
But he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering how many times LOD is kind of, at least a few times, LOD up to this point has kind of bailed Stone Cold out in some sense.
Right.
So, because they always kind of loosely align them, if you remember. Was like some of the episodes we just covered, wasn't Stone Cold teaming with LOD in some random mixed tags and shit?
Yeah. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
When we covered that. So yeah, he could have went out and helped, but he's probably I'm tired now.
I'm pretty sad.
Yeah. So that concludes Raw from that week. So Austin is going to get his IC title match, it looks like. And that'll probably be at Survivor Series coming up at that point. So we now go to the next Raw, which is Raw 229 from October 13th, 1997. And you have Stone Cold denim vest being advertised. That's one of my side notes. This episode is $44 vest. $44 plus $9 ship handling. A Stone Cold denim vest. And you also get more Stone Cold merchandise. The Jax action figures. It's funny because Stone Cold just playing with this toy. He's playing with his action figure.
Playing with himself.
He's got McMahon. He's got a figure of McMahon. He's got one of himself. He's going to open up a can of whoop ass on the McMahon toy. Those figures look like shit compared to the figures today.
Oh, yeah. The figures nowadays blow those shits out of the water.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't have many side notes. Do you have any side notes for this episode?
It's a nice.
To get into the Austin.
Yeah, nice opening here for the for LOD. If I'm not mistaken, this is the episode where they're kind of chronicling their rise through WWF, and it's almost like a Legion of Doom tribute show.
Yeah, the whole night is throughout the whole night. It's LOD, and it's building up to the main event.
Yeah,
which is LOD versus the Godwins for the tag titles.
We also got this is the second Billy Gunn and Road Dogg team up.
Yep.
They just joined alliances previously on Shotgun Saturday Night when Billy kind of turns on the Honky Tonk Man.
About time. Get rid of his ass.
Yeah, and yeah, that's really it. That's all I had.
Well, actually, the one is Triple H and HBK call themselves Degeneration X, and you make the rules, and we'll break them.
Yeah,
so that's the first acknowledgement of them being called Generation X.
And they have sexual innuendos throughout, pretty much about how Triple H. So they mention about something with Triple H being small, and HBK's like Triple H is bigger than you in more ways than one, or something like that.
Yeah.
But he's almost kind of makes it look like it's a nose joke because he kind of turns his the way he turns his head. It's kind of funny.
But more ways than one.
Yeah.
Penis and nose. Alright, so that's really well. Actually, with LOD and the Godwins, that's the main event, as I was just saying. But LOD does win the tag team titles here.
Which this is a perfect example is why they need Stone Cold. You're fucking closing the show with Legion of Doom against the Godwins.
Right.
Come on.
And that's the big thing. LOD wins the titles, and the Godwins then turn on Uncle Cletus. Stupid.
Yeah, Uncle Cletus. Jeez.
That was T.L. Hopper.
That's who that is?
Yeah.
I almost Googled it, and then I was like, you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care about this guy. I'm not even going to waste 2 minutes Googling him and having to click 2 clicks. Like, I'm all set.
Yes.
Like, it's
Tony
not Hillbilly
Anthony.
Jim. He's the most famous hillbilly there is. So,
Right.
Cletus doesn't matter. He's not my Cletus. My Cletus is on The Simpsons.
Yeah, Cletus.
Not this imposter on Monday Night Raw.
All right, so Austin is going to come out, and they're going to finally make the match official. They're going to get the contract signing. And, of course, it's another shitty-looking contract. Fake made contracts.
The only thing that would have made this contract worse is if it said Acme on it. Because that's what it fucking looks like. It looks like it belongs on Looney Tunes.
Sure it does. All right, so we're going to play the clip, then we'll talk about it after that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in a moment, hopefully it will be official. Stone Cold Steve Austin will be reinstated as of November 9 at the Survivor Series. And all you have to do, Mr. Austin, is sign on the dotted line.
I like the way you make this look so damn easy. What you got to do is sign first, because I don't trust you as far as I can throw you, and that's the bottom line. I don't ask too many people's opinion, but should I trust him or not?
I'll agree with that.
You want the match, you sign first, and then I'll sign, but not a second before.
But these are the same documents that you saw before the broadcast.
It's the same damn thing, and you know it is.
If you hold this microphone, please.
I think basically McMahon doesn't want to get sued later, right?
You don't trust me?
Get McMahon with those stupid glasses on. That's got to be embarrassing in front of the world. Yeah. Oh. Steve's number 1, it says. But you can barely read his X.
Looks like we got a deal.
No, we don't have a deal. Not until you sign. As soon as you sign this, November 9th Survivor Series, you get Owen Hart. But you don't sign this, you don't get it.
take those stupid-looking glasses off McMahon. He's not going to sign, JR.
Well, we know how badly Austin wants Owen Hart. He gets him at Survivor Series, and it's official. Got a done deal here, I think.
It is official. You and Owen Hart in the ring.
You're damn right, and I guess that leaves me only one thing left to do.
He's going to stun McMahon. He's going to dot that eye with a stunner.
Well, all I'm telling you to do is shake my hand, son. Don't sit there and make a mess out of your pants. Just shake my damn hand, and we got a deal.
Look at McMahon.
Good thing old Vince is wearing dark pants.
Watch it. He still may get you. This is how it started last time, JR.
I remember.
Just like that, I could have turned the lights on, and you know that's the truth.
Wait a minute. Before you go, just clear up one small thing. Please don't be kicking this piece of paper around.
Don't press your luck, McMahon.
Before you go, just clear up one small detail, if you don't mind. Last week you said it was none of my business, and maybe it wasn't. All right? But what were you doing at Bad Blood when you interfered in that match with Owen Hart and with Farouk? What were you doing?
See, what happened was Farouk was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got no problem against him. I got no problem with the Nation of Domination. The bottom line is Steve Austin gets what Steve Austin wants, and I want Owen Hart's ass, I want the Intercontinental title, and I want it real fast. It's my business, and Stone Cold does what he wants when he wants.
Now you just wait a minute. Let me tell you something, Stone Cold. No, your business is my business. What you did was cross the railroad track. I thought your kind of people knew when you crossed the railroad track what's over there. Hey, let me tell you what's over there. There's no white picket fence over there. There's no 3-car garages. There's no 5-bedroom houses over there. What we do is make a sacrifice for everything we get across the track. And what you did when you cost me the Intercontinental title was sacrifice your ass to me and the nation.
This could get ugly.
Basically, I didn't understand one damn word you said. But it sounds like you're a little pissed off. Sounds like you got something against Stone Cold Steve Austin for wrapping that damn belt around your head. So I'm telling you, all you got to do is bring your ass to the ring, or any one of them people up there, I'll stomp a mud hole in you and walk it dry. You think you're so damn tough, all big and jacked up. It shouldn't be nothing but a thing for one of you guys to come up here and whip someone with a bad neck sass.
I hope you don't think just one of them's going to come up there.
Down there, kick his ass.
Here comes Rocky. Rocky Maivia accepts the challenge.
Look at this.
And there's a stunner. Stone Cold stunner.
They got him.
Austin has just stunned, and there goes Stone Cold. Stone Cold stunned Rocky Maivia out of his boots.
He's out of the crowd.
Stone Cold through the crowd. And there goes the rattlesnake, much to the dismay of the Nation of Domination.
All right, so there you have it. You have Stone Cold is going to be reinstated as of November 9th, which is the day after Survivor Series. So that makes sense. He's going to have a match at Survivor Series. Maybe they just screwed the date. So he's being told he has to sign. Austin wants McMahon to sign first because he doesn't trust him. Austin eventually does sign. I like how he signs it. He signs out on the middle rope. Crowd goes nuts.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Excited. And then he comes back down from the ropes. He's like, I only have one thing left to do. Shake my hand, son. Don't go making a mess of your pants. He's afraid like he might get stunned. Also, man thinking that he might get stunned. So, don't wet your pants.
I like how he gets, he looks for the crowd's approval and opinion first. He kind of calls to the crowd.
Yeah.
and which is as much of a heel as he is. That's a face move.
Right.
Getting the crowd involved like that. So.
Right. Like, should I sign it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they eventually do shake hands. Austin pulls him in, kind of like threatens him a little bit, and then McMahon's like, "Well, can you really just tell me, what were you doing at Bad Blood interfering in the match?" Like, you still don't know, Vince? What the fuck?
How stupid is everybody here?
Yeah. Everyone knows why. Why?
Yeah. It makes you hate them even more, though. So it's good. It's good storytelling. Like, you idiots.
True.
God, you guys suck. Him and Owen.
So he says, "I want Owen Hart's ass." Of course he wants Owen's ass.
Yeah.
Then you go Farouk there. He's at the top of the ramp. He's threatening Austin, but he doesn't go down. He sends out Rocky Maivia.
And Farouk's rambling again.
You're right. Yeah. And Austin even says, "I don't understand one word you just said."
Dude, he's just rambling. Right there. It's funny. It's comical how bad he is.
Right.
During 2 weeks in a row.
It's like the pressure has gotten to him. And he's nervous.
And this
he's
one,
messing up his lines.
This one, he almost looks sick. I'm like, is he battling like a cold right now? Is he on some like meds, some Tamiflu or something? You know.
So as I was saying, Rock gets sent out there, and he takes a stunner. It's the first of many stunners to come.
Yeah.
Oh, there you have it. The first stunner.
This is the
Rocky
first spark. Interaction here between The Rock and Stone Cold directly. That's gonna start the actual climax. Of the Attitude Era. Like, we're getting there, and this is where the build starts.
Right. It continues on our next week's episode. It's full blown Rock.
Yeah, I realized that
Austin.
as I was doing my homework for early shows. I'm like, oh shit, we're already there. Like, she's about to get fucking really awesome. The rest of
the IC title, like, Rock steals the IC title from him and all that. And Austin steals it from him, throws it into the water, throws it into a river. Get all that next week. Well, let's get back to this. All right, so we got now, that concludes Raw basically there. So we'll go now to Raw 230, which is October 20th, 1997, from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And you have Bret Hart versus Farouk. It's a non-title match. Austin's going to run in from the crowd. He stuns Farouk, and Bret Hart wins because of it. The Nation's locker room is vandalized. Like some racist comments all over the place.
Oh, man. And really pushed the envelope.
Yeah, big time. DX blames the Hart Foundation, and that leads to some conflict between two, and that's why they had this match to begin with.
And
Hart and Farouk.
DX blaming the Hart Foundation has some substance here, because we've heard how, like, prejudiced and homophobic Bret Hart and the Hart Foundation are. And they make Canada out to be in general, so.
Right. So
it's believable.
Good for DX to point that out.
Yeah.
Watching this, pretty positive, it's DX that did it.
Yeah, of course.
But I don't think they ever even come back to, because I'm like episodes ahead, and this is never mentioned again. So they never even have to reveal that DX actually did that.
Yeah, I know they don't cover it in the next two episodes of Raw that we're covering on this show. So.
Yeah, so kind of just dropped it. Oh well. Jeff Jarrett makes his return on this episode, where he cuts a nice little promo.
Yeah, it was good.
WCW. Yeah, he talks about how Austin affected making money off all that, so he's just pissing everybody off. The crowd is nuts, throwing shit into the ring with Jeff Jarrett there, and we'll see what happens with him in the months to come. But he's back.
Yeah, well, just to piggyback off that real quick, he mentions he makes a point in his promo about how he was almost like one of the best young wrestlers in WCW at the time. I'm like, how old is Jeff Jarrett here? Because I thought when he first came he was like in his 30s. He's actually only freaking 31 years old here. And during his first run in 94?
20s.
Yeah, 94, 92, whenever it started, he was only 25.
Wow.
Like, dude's only 51 now.
Right.
I was like shocked. I'm like, I figured he'd be like 60 with like Flair and the rest of the guys, but I always kind of lose sight of,
The age, yeah.
The age of Jeff Jarrett.
Well, he just looked old back in '95 when he first came in, too.
Yeah, but he looks the same now.
Yeah, he looks right.
It just doesn't age.
At 51, he looks the same.
Yeah, I thought he was 51 in like 2004 in like Impact or whatever.
So there he is. He's back. We got Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn. Yeah, so they're teaming up now. The Rockabilly gimmick's gone. Yep. Jesse James is going by Road Dogg, Jesse James, and he announces Billy Gunn as Badass Billy Gunn. He even calls him Mr. Ass, too.
Yeah, and they don't have any theme music right now.
Nope, he's just coming out. He says, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. Mm-hmm. And he says, if you don't know, you better call somebody. And he even says, if you don't know, you better page somebody. So they're coming down, and he's on the mic, so that's something that he'll end up doing from this point on, basically, be his own ring announcer. And he's claiming, as he's walking down there, that this is the beginning of their journey to the tag team titles, and it's going right in that direction.
Yeah, yep.
So, all right, so you have Owen Hart has a match here. This is title for title. IC title for the versus Shawn Michaels for the European title. So IC title and European title. Austin's going to run in, of course. This is just like Run-In City. Like every episode, just run-ins. So Austin's going to stun the ref. Brett attacks HBK, and it ends up being a DQ. Austin doesn't want a title change, of course, because he wants to have his match at Survivor Series. So he doesn't want HBK winning the IC title. So he needs to interfere here. Make sure nothing happens in the match. Like, gotta make sure that Survivor Series match happens and he gets his title back. Alright, so that concludes that Raw. So not much going on there for that Raw. Like I said, it's just a lot of run-in stuff right now. There hasn't really been much more of the Owen Hart Austin feud other than what has happened previously in the last month. So we don't get anything new. It's not a lot of new heat other than just the run-ins. And he's basically helping Owen keep his title throughout this month.
Yep.
So that he can get his title match. So that'll bring us now to Raw 231, October 27, 1997. This is a taped episode from Tulsa. Nation's going to come out. They're pissed about the vandalism, so they do mention it again here. The Rock has a shitty-ass t-shirt on. It has a huge R on it.
Yeah. Not even like the rated RR. It's like just a generic R.
Yeah, it's just like big screened-on R.
Yeah.
It's like shit. So I don't think that was actually merchandise. I think it was just a shirt that had an R, and he's like, I'm The Rock.
Yeah.
So I'll wear this. So some side notes here. Other than that, you get the Karate Fighters Tournament is back in action, 2 years in a row. Now they have like fake announcers. They have like a fake Vince McMahon. They have a fake Jim Ross.
I didn't catch that.
They have like Vince McMahon and Jumbo Jim. And funny. Bruce Pritchard actually is the Jim Ross character.
No shit.
Does the Vince McMahon voice during the commentary matches. It's like, oh my God. Oh, my voice hurt now. It hurts to do a Vince impression. All right. Bret Hart versus Ken Shamrock's going to happen. This is actually a match that I was hoping that they would do at some point. And they do it here, and it's just going to end up in an interference. Shawn Michaels comes down. But I thought that could have been a good match, if it was done legit, eventually.
Yeah.
On the road.
I agree. I mean, but even here, Shamrock, I just lost my train of thought there. Say, even here, Shamrock still kind of gets a little bit of a rub.
Yeah.
Like a minor
rub is.
As a main event talent, I mean.
And he's going to get it again the next week, too, where he's going to have a match with HBK.
Yeah, yep.
So they're kind of pushing him at this point, where they want him to be elevated up to the next level. So putting them in these matches with these guys. This is actually going to be one of Bret's last matches, too.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
How they squeezed it in here right before he was about to leave. Ahmed Johnson is pissed off. I guess Austin cost him an IC title match at the end. So there was a match, Owen Hart versus Ahmed Johnson for the IC title. Austin's going to have a run in here. He's going to cost Ahmed Johnson the belt. Ahmed Johnson hit Owen Hart with the Pearl River Plunge. Stone Cold runs in, gives him the stunner. Doesn't want the title to change. So that's like the common theme, basically.
Yep.
Is Austin keeps interfering in these IC title matches to keep the belt on Owen Hart. And he's making all these other enemies throughout the whole time. So he's made Farouk his enemy, the whole nation. Now Ahmed Johnson's back. Ahmed Johnson's pissed at him. Ahmed Johnson says at the very end of the episode, he goes on like this mumble jumble rant. It's worse than Farouk. You couldn't understand anything that Ahmed Johnson was saying. He's just like wicked pissed. He's yelling and screaming. Makes no sense. But he wants Austin's ass, basically. So, one other injury report that comes in this week, the Wrestling Observer, is that Austin is being told now by WWE, WWF at the time, to modify his in-ring style, and good chance he will never be the worker that he once was. So, we knew that was happening. That's unfortunate. He's a hell of a worker. Now he's going to have to change his whole style, and we know that from all the other years that he's a rough and tough, rugged character. So that brings us now to the go-home show, Raw 232, November 3rd, 1997. This is from Hershey, Pennsylvania. And we're just going to start off with a Austin promo. And he's going to come out to the ring. He's got another new shirt out. And it's just a variation of the Terminator Austin shirt, where that is on the back instead of on the front. And on the front it says, "Other side, jackass." I like that shirt. All right, so
another Stone Cold classic.
Oh yeah. So here we go. Take a listen here. We'll talk about it on the other end.
Austin, we can have your attention for a moment. Finally, the match you have long awaited ever since SummerSlam. Finally, it's yours this Sunday on pay-per-view. You versus Owen Hart for the Intercontinental Championship.
You're damn right. When you do what Owen Hart did to me, pick the damn thing up there. When you do what Owen Hart did to me, when I have to sit on my couch every day and think about what I should be doing, it really pisses me off. What I'm going for on November 9th, it ain't a wrestling match. It's payback time for Owen Hart. Paybacks are hell, son, and that's the damnedest bottom line I ever bottom line. When you drop Steve Austin on his head and you damn near paralyze him, it means you get your ass kicked, plain and simple.
Owen Hart watching at home tonight in Calgary on TSN.
I'd like to remind you that Owen Hart, the hitman Bret Hart, the Hart Foundation, of course, watching from Canada as we speak, and obviously you've ticked off every one of the Hart Foundation members. You ticked off as well every member of the Nation of Domination. As a matter of fact, you've even ticked off last week Ahmed Johnson. Ahmed Johnson in a matchup with Owen Hart. We've got the footage we'd like to show you, take you back to last week, and have you comment on this. All right, look, here it is, ready for the Pearl River Plunge, and here you come. And look at this. And here's another look at it. Look at it. And just one more time. Wham, right? Yeah. Well, if you'll do that to Ahmed Johnson, I mean, you just don't care who you're going to do this to, do you?
You talk about it. I've ticked off everybody. Well, everybody here has pissed me off. What I did was watch Owen's back so I could get back what was mine, the Intercontinental title. But above and beyond that, I want Owen Hart's ass because he's got a payback coming, straight and simple. The Nation of Domination, wrong place, wrong time. Ahmed Johnson, I ain't got nothing against you, son. You and me never will be friends. You were at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's unfortunate, but anytime you stick your head in the ring with Steve Austin, or I stick my head in the ring while you're in there, the bottom line is I'm going to kick your ass. Straight and simple.
I can tell you this, that Owen Hart is...
Uh-oh. I think business just picked up. Ahmed Johnson needs business, I'll tell you that.
He's been telling anybody that would listen all week that he was going to come after Stone Cold tonight. And it looks like he was telling the truth.
He's 315 pounds of bad attitude. And we may just have the damnedest fight right here, kicking off this Raw that you have ever seen.
Austin just took his hat off. He's ready.
Ahmed, we can just get a word with you.
I don't know if that's a wise idea or not.
You keep your eye on him. Just get a word with you. Obviously, you must be upset. We know last week when we left you, you had a few harsh comments to make towards Stone Cold.
You know what? First of all, Vince, you don't have to get a word with me.
Keep your eye on him. Keep your eye on him, please. Ahmed, please.
You know what, Steve Austin? Up until last week, I respected you. Up until last week, you had my respect. But last week, you crossed my end zone. Now I can promise you, Steve Austin, I'm gonna kick your ass if it's the last thing I do. Yeah, you all your fans out here, all you see, I don't have to have fans. All my life, 13 years old, I've been on my own, doing my thing.
Wait a minute.
My own, raising myself. You're gonna challenge me? You are gonna backstab me like that? As I respected you today, why don't you and I put our gear on, come out here, punk, and get it on. Put it on your stuff, and let's do it today.
All right.
Not tomorrow.
All right, wait a minute. All right, come on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Today.
All right, what about it, Stone Cold? You've been challenged for a match tonight.
If anybody wants to see Ahmed Johnson get his ass whipped, give me a hell yeah.
I think it's unanimous.
Not that I need anybody's opinion, but you're damn right, son. I'll be happy to beat the hell out of you on live TV. Why? Because I said so.
Well, what a collision that's going to be right there.
Well, it didn't take long. Challenge asked and answered. Ahmed said you ought to fight. Austin said yes. And it looks like that's what we're going to see.
All right, so that's the damnedest bottom line I ever bottom lined. I like that quote from this video clip.
Me too.
He's saying
That's a good one.
Yeah. You know, it's payback. He wants Owen Hart, and that's the damnedest bottom line. You have a bottom line. And they're talking about what he did to Ahmed Johnson and interfering in that match. And, you know, Austin's funny here because he just keeps going, wham!
Yeah, every time.
Wham! Every time they show the stunner.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, right now it's basically Stone Cold versus everyone. That's pretty much
really
picking fights with anyone that gets in his way. So he's not making many friends right now. He's making a lot of enemies.
Yep. Ahmed Johnson comes out. He says, I'm going to kick your ass if it's the last thing I do. And then Austin comes up with a new line that he's going to use for years to come. Even to this day, he would still say, if he was on Raw, he would use this line. He says, if anyone wants to see Ahmed Johnson get his ass kicked, give me a hell yeah.
Yep.
So, and the hell yeah is the crowd interaction. Everyone says hell yeah, of course. And then he immediately says, not that I needed anyone's opinion. But that's exactly what you just did. You just asked for their opinion. He's like, I gotta still be badass. I don't need anyone's opinion.
But he ends up using that line.
Yeah.
You know,
basically from this
weekly
point on.
At this point, yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I still use hell yeah. Anytime I read hell yeah, I think Stone Cold.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. The hand motion, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's starting here. Ahmed Johnson is waiting in the ring after the commercial break. And Kane's going to come out. So thinking that we're going to have this Ahmed Johnson versus Stone Cold match, which we shouldn't be expecting because Austin shouldn't be having random matches, especially with some shitty worker like Ahmed Johnson.
Power worker,
that could injure him.
Yeah.
So it doesn't happen because Kane comes down, attacks Ahmed Johnson, then Mankind comes out, attacks Kane with the pipe. Kane and Mankind are going to have a match at Survivor Series. So that's what they're trying to promote there.
Because Kane kind of like attacks Dude Love, right?
Right.
Like in one of the previous episodes.
Yeah,
and
right.
He has to bring out Mankind or some shit.
Yep, that's what happened. So Austin's going to have another little promo later in the show, so let's play that now.
I said Ahmed Johnson was going to get his ass whipped, and that's exactly what happened. As far as I'm concerned, he got off light because Steve Austin would have opened up the real can of whoop ass and served it to him on a spoon. If Ahmed Johnson can drag his ass back out here, I'm still ready to fight him. But if he ain't, I'll take on anyone in the dressing room. All you gotta do is come step through these ropes right here. Somebody come out because Stone Cold is ready to raise hell.
Well, nobody can say Austin picks them carefully.
He can send anybody, Vince McMahon. Anybody.
Toughest SOB in the WWF, and he may be the next Intercontinental
There's got to
Champion.
be somebody in that dressing room that's got a set of guts. Then again, maybe they don't.
There's not a lot of frogs back there because nobody's jumping. Not so far.
Austin wants to warm up, whoop somebody's
Someone
butt
get me a hot dog and a beer.
before Survivor Series.
Looks like he'll... Uh-oh.
Well, here comes the nation. Remember, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin who cost for a room for the Intercontinental title at Bad Blood back in October in St. Louis before over 20,000 fans at the Kiel Center.
And also, don't forget, he's given Rocky Maivia the Stone Cold Stunner in the past. But it looks now like Kama is the man who's been elected, so to speak.
Kama, the supreme fighting machine at 6'8", 300 plus pounds, has come in to fight Stone Cold. Wait a minute, here comes the Legion of Doom. Hulking Animal, attack the nation. Austin with a stunner. Stone Cold Steve Austin has just stunnered this giant Kama right out of his boots, and we got a hell of a fight on the outside.
Kama's down. Kama is down from the stunner, and Steve Austin has a smile on his face a mile wide.
Stone Cold Steve Austin just opened a can of whoop ass on that Kama. The LOD in the nation can't wait until Sunday in Montreal at the Survivor Series, and we've got us one heck of a fight. It is chaotic here.
And did you see Austin?
All right, so the match was basically called off there. Ahmed Johnson is injured. Austin says, "Hey, you get off light." I was gonna give him a can of whoop ass, and then he says he'll take on anyone, but it doesn't lead to anything. You know, JR is like, Stone Cold's ready to raise hell. There's got to be somebody out there with some guts come out there, and Austin's basically like, "I'm having this match. Someone go get me a hot dog and a beer, and I'll wait here until somebody wants to come out." So somebody finally does come out. The Nation's music hits, and they get Kama. Kama runs down, and we have LOD.
But the crowd is chanting Rocky sucks. Like, Rocky is the focal point. The Rock is the focal point of the Nation of Domination from the crowd's perspective. Anytime NOD comes out, they're just throwing shade at The Rock.
Yep.
So
and it's funny how that turns into loving the guy.
Yeah, it does. Sometimes, you know, you love what you hate, you know?
Right. Well, they just hate him so much that when he actually became cool, they just, whoa, he's awesome now.
Well, the guy takes it. He does take a beating from the crowd, and critics, and he just keeps marching along doing his thing, and look at him now.
Eventually turned. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right about that. So Rock is not sent out this time. Farouk's still the leader of the group.
Yep.
Right. So they send out Kama. Austin stunts Kama, of course. And that's about it. So any other side notes that you had for that episode? No, this is actually the episode was in the ring and DX takes out the shields, the wipers.
Yeah, that's one of them I was going to mention. Is how they bring out the Riot Squad masks with the wind, and then they go back in the bag and put the windshield wipers on them, like the wipers. It's kind of funny because it goes back to the previous episode where we covered Sergeant Slobber.
Sergeant
Slobber. So it does become a running joke. Another couple things is there's the light heavyweight championship tournament going on right now. Not really many notable names in it. I looked at it quickly. No one stood out. I didn't even care to go look to see who won.
You can look at the bracket and you can tell what the final is going to be.
I don't even care. I looked at the
names. They had
names.
the match so often. It was Brian Christopher against Taka Michinoku.
And who won?
Taka Michinoku.
He was the first lightweight. Was that the first? This was the first light heavyweight championship, right? I don't think they had to this.
At least
it's like the inaugural.
Maybe. Can't remember if they maybe had it before.
But
this might be it.
Also, as you mentioned previously, Shamrock almost beats HBK before interference, which kind of gives him another rub that he can kind of hang with these top guys and beat them.
Yep.
Even though he doesn't get the official win. And then the highlight of this episode, man. Mark Merrow opens the door on Sable getting dressed, and you get a great side boob spot. Almost whole. You see about 68 to 72%, I'd say.
72%.
Give or take. Plus maybe 77%.
Yeah, you gotta
one of the frames.
The nipple is like 10%.
Yeah, give the nipple about it's probably 25% actually. It's half. It's like 75%.
Yeah,
it's like 99. See how we just got the
bologna sized nipples.
Yeah,
a salami.
Once the nipples comes out, it's just a totally different ball game.
Right.
Then it's full-fledged nudity.
All right, so yeah, that's about it for that Raw, for the Go Home show. That'll bring us now to the Survivor Series, which is more known for being the Montreal Screwjob, but that's not what we're talking about here.
No, we're talking about a. I don't even know if you can call this a match.
A 4-minute match.
Yeah.
So this is going down in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. You have DX's music being played for the very first time. I thought that was cool. DX music, classic music. And it's being used to advertise the next pay-per-view that's coming up in September called In Your House, D-Generation X. So that was one notable thing there.
Mm-hmm.
And as I said, we're going to be talking about this very brief match. It's Owen Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. The IC title's been building up ever since SummerSlam. And we went through the whole recap at the top of this show where he's just been attacking Owen Hart. He gets a restraining order. He's not cleared to wrestle. He's wreaking havoc throughout the WWF. He's stunning all the top officials. He stuns McMahon. And there's all that shit going on over the last month where you have these run-ins. Finally going to be cleared now to wrestle. Going to get his title shot here against Owen Hart. And they're going to kind of give us all that information in a nice little pre-match video package. And we're going to play that for you, so take a listen to that.
He has redefined the phrase, playing in pain.
And Steve Austin, ladies and gentlemen, went to the emergency room after his first matchup with Wildman Mark Miro. Had some 16 stitches in his mouth and in, I believe, his tongue, and has returned back here to the king of the ring. And the stunner applied again. 1, 2, and he got him!
Stone Cold Steve Austin lives by one philosophy. It's not how many times you go down that counts. It's how many times you get up.
Well, obviously Austin doesn't want any help. He's got one leg. He's lost all kinds of blood. But wait a minute. He's hurt. He's wounded. But here comes Stone Cold. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's into the ring. Austin coming out to get a shot at the Hart Foundation.
Now he's getting up for a payback performance.
Owen Hart holds up his little slammy like he's some kind of big shot. He's the biggest piece of crap I ever laid my eyes on. And if he was here in person, I'd put about a dozen arrows right through his ass. There you go, Owen, you piece of Oh!
The feeling, however, is mutual.
Now we all know what I'm capable of doing.
With Owen Hart now. Let's see what Austin can do with Eamon. No. How about that?
Close to the end of the match, when Owen Hart dumped me on my head, you figure I weigh 245, 250, bam, you get planted in the mat. It happens. And for basically about 50 seconds, I couldn't move my arms and my legs, and I didn't know if I ever would move again. It's pretty damn scary. So Owen Hart has got hell to pay. You get dumped on your head, you get the position that I was put in, it ain't worth a damn. And I'm just a little bit off. Well, I'm not a little bit off, I'm a whole lot off.
Austin proved his legacy by rising this night.
When you do what he did to me, you know, if it's my last step in life, you can damn well bet he's going to get the kicked out of him one way or the other.
Here comes that rattlesnake.
This belt and myself are going into Canada at the Survivor Series against you, Stone Cold Steve Austin. And believe me, this belt is going to stay where it belongs.
On November 9th, it ain't a wrestling match. It's payback time for Owen Hart.
When you're looking up from the mat with your neck broken in half. And believe me, this belt is going to stay in Canada where it belongs. You American people don't deserve to see me a champion of my caliber.
At Survivor Series, will anyone be able to stand up in the end?
Well, that's a great question, and ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out because Stone Cold and Owen Hart are next.
All right, so I just thought that was a nice little video package to get you warmed up for this match. Kind of goes through Austin's injury issues, all the way dating back to King of the Ring '96 when he got kicked in the mouth by Mark Merrow. That match, first round match.
And this is around the time where this is around the time too where WWF is kind of upping the quality of their video packages.
Yeah,
like I don't know, like they're using them and incorporating them a lot more, which is
right. Good.
Good. It's a good viewing experience.
Right.
This kind of shit. So.
Right. It tells the story of what's been going on.
Yep. With dramatics and everything, it's good.
Right. It makes the match a bigger deal.
Yep.
When you do that. So you're gonna have this Owen Hart versus Stone Cold match start around 1 hour and 59-minute mark of the show. And the match is only gonna be about 4 minutes, but it's like a 12-minute segment. It's gonna start off. And that's true. They're trying to keep Austin out of the ring, really. They don't want him to have a long match. They want to take up some time, but they're going to do some things before and after the match to, lengthen out this segment. So Stone Cold's going to come out to the ring. It's going to be very similar to how he came out at at WrestleMania 13.
Yep.
Yep, where he comes through and the glass shatters. In this case, though, only half glass shattered.
Total botch.
Yeah. And it wasn't the Austin 316, it was just the Stone Cold skull.
Yep, the smoking skull.
That was there. Yep. And one notable thing that I seen in the crowd, just like right after his entrance, was Stone Cold sucks. And keep in mind, they're in Canada, so you're going to have some haters. Stone Cold there.
The signs at this pay-per-view are brutal. I've never seen such raw and vulgar signs at a wrestling event. They're bad. You might think it's like a ECW show or something. There's no censorship either. They didn't even go back and censor some of these signs on the network, which is good. They didn't, but they're bad.
Yeah. I mean, the one that I'm describing right now is not that bad, but this one just Stone Cold sucks, and it had a skull.
Yeah.
And it had a butt head for the skull. Had a butt head. And then his chin was a butt, too.
Yeah, I saw that one.
It just stood out as goofy to me. So you have the French ring announcer is calling Austin out and Owen Hart for this match because it's in Canada. Mm-hmm. So that stood out to me too because I was like, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Yeah, not to bash their language, but Hey, when I don't know what you're saying, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
I'd love to hear what like other countries, other languages, like how they make fun of English language.
English. Probably like do do do
Yeah.
do do.
Butthead. Something stupid like that. I want to hear it because hey,
Yeah.
this shit's funny. I'll laugh at it.
Right. Don't be offended.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious.
It's comedy.
Yeah. Typically if it offends people, probably gonna get a kick out of it.
Right. So, Owen Hart's going to come out with Team Canada. So they already like kind of breaking away from the Hart Foundation because they know Brett is gone after the night.
Yep.
So the stable is now called Team Canada.
That's a good catch.
Yeah.
And that never really hit me. Yeah.
And so it's Bulldog, Neidhart, and then it's also Furnace and LaFawn. They joined. That was a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah.
Bret Hart's out. LaFawn and Furnace are in.
They don't even try to like dress in sync
No.
either. They just come out and they're all blue and some red
Right.
jackets and shit.
So Owen's coming out. He has his Owen 316 shirt on, which is good. He's still rocking that.
Yeah, still pushing his merchandise.
Yeah. Oh, did they sell that shirt?
Yeah, they did.
Must have. Okay.
Yeah, they did. I remember my brother wanting that shirt. My brother always liked Owen Hart. Always
And he
loved
finally
Owen Hart.
gets a
because he's a
shirt.
little brother. You know what I mean? I think
Right,
it just kind of
yeah.
could relate to Owen Hart. It makes sense. But he
Yeah.
always loved. If there was an Owen Hart fan as a kid, I don't think any American kid liked Owen Hart more than my brother. But so yeah, I'm 99.9% sure they sold that because he always wanted it, but for whatever reason, I don't know.
Yeah.
He didn't get
It wasn't as easy to get shirts back then.
Yeah.
You went to the show.
Yeah, you'd have to like call and order them. And it's like shit. Parents don't
Right.
want to be bothered with that.
No. So you have Owen coming out there. The match is being delayed big time. It's probably, like I said before, Austin's really not ready to be in a full-on match. So the pre-match is taking up a lot of time. They really just want to get the draw from Austin being on the show.
Yep.
Get the pay-per-view buys, it's IC title match. So they don't want to disappoint their viewers. So they're gonna make the segment pretty lengthy, but the actual in-ring action is not going to be what people might have been hoping for. Build, as I was saying, hasn't been much over the last few weeks. Every once in a while there was the run-ins, as I was describing earlier. So they haven't really created new heat, really,
No.
for this feud.
More so over the past few weeks, they've just kind of been continuing with like the growth of Stone Cold as a solo act. Like no
Right.
alliances, no allegiances, They're
Right.
just kind of growing him as a
The lone wolf.
as the star too.
Right. So there he is. Austin is not happy with that Owen 316 shirt, so he's going to rip that shit right off him. Neidhart sneaks into the ring. He's going to come up on Austin, but get stunned. And then Austin's going to get attacked by Owen finally. And then the match begins, finally. Okay, after about 5 minutes.
Yep.
5 minutes of just bullshit going on. The match finally starts. Austin doesn't even take off his vest, I think, like the whole match. Fans are chanting, break his neck, break his neck. So you got that Canadian crowd, going after Austin. Owen attempts a what are you going to say?
I mean, what happened? Like people nowadays, when they talk about Canada, they're like, "Oh, Canada's so great. Just move to Canada. Stuff stinks in America. We're just gonna move to Canada." Like,
Right.
damn, Canada sounds terrible if you watch it from the '90s.
Right. Bunch of assholes.
Yeah, like damn. I thought
They hate
were
Americans.
Like I thought they were nice, to each other. I don't know. I've never been to Canada, but all the Canadian people I've actually met are actually pretty cool.
And I don't know. I think I haven't met any.
No, actually, not to get off topic here, but the first time I went to Las Vegas, we met a Canadian guy in the airport when our flight was delayed, and he was going to Vegas to do a fantasy baseball draft. All his friends meet in Vegas and do a fantasy baseball draft. We were chilling with this guy. It was me, Rob, and Torrin, and we were chilling with this guy in the airport, and we were pounding Sam Adams Cherry Wheat beers, like a whole tab. The guy paid for a whole tab.
Wow. That's awesome.
we didn't expect that. He's like, no, I got you, blah blah. We tried to connect with him in Vegas, meet up with him again and chill, but he never really got back to us. So it was like just
One shot.
something I'll never forget.
That's
His
cool.
name was Pat Gagne. I even remember the guy's freaking name. So it's
Hey,
great.
Pat Gagne, if you're listening, thanks for those beers.
Yeah, great guy.
Getting Jamie
My
those
first
beers.
interaction with Canada was awesome. This dude ruled, and he could put him back. He was pounding him with it. It was a good time.
Nice. All right, so let's get back to the match. Owen Hart is going to attempt a pile driver right away. So, that's the hot spot of the match right there. Is you want to bring that back up.
Mm-hmm.
So attempts that. Austin's going to counter right away with a back toss. Owen starts to work on Austin's left knee, and Owen's going to get his nose slammed as a counter to that, right into the turn post. And Owen's going to try to walk off just like he did at SummerSlam. And he quits. He's going to walk to the back. Austin runs up from behind, gives him a clothesline, drags him back into the ring. And then Owen immediately rolls out of the ring. Austin's going to follow him. And then Owen gives Austin a mule nut shot. Gives him the mule kick. And then the table was broken from earlier in the day. So they used the broken announce table. You got the cables out. And using those cables matches recently, in the last couple of months to choke people.
Yep.
So cables are used on Austin on his injured neck. Owen's trying to get disqualified, which I thought was pretty cool. It's a nice touch to the match where
it was good.
he's just trying to get out of the match. He wanted to walk out and get counted out, and he's just doing whatever it takes to get disqualified. But the ref's not letting it happen. He even rings the bell too, like, I'm disqualified.
Oh no, it was so good.
Yeah, good improv.
Yeah,
all the time.
He just got it.
Yeah. Owen's in control. It's not much of a match. It's only he's in control for the most part. Austin can't really do much of anything in it because point. You get to the kind of end of the match here. You got Austin starts to stomp Owen in the corner, give him the double birds, and they get to that setup of the final setup of the SummerSlam match where you have the counter where he's gonna put him in the pile driver and then he's gonna flip him over.
Yep.
So same exact thing that happened at SummerSlam, but he's gonna counter it. He's gonna counter the pile driver again. Then he's gonna just give the two birds quick, then hit him with the stunner, and then it's over. So just like that. So it's kind of out of nowhere. You think it's gonna lead to the pile driver, and then boom, stunner. It's over.
Yeah.
So basically 4 minutes from bell to bell. Austin is now 2-time IC champ.
Yep.
And the Furnace and LaFon, they come running in. So they take a stunner. So now you got some more things going on after the match to kind of lengthen this segment and get people happy with what they saw with Austin. He's got the title now. He's going to stun a couple more people. And everybody can go home happy and be happy.
Yeah, the crowd pulls we got what we call a Rocky IV moment, where the heel crowd from the other country actually starts cheering.
Right.
For the
yeah, exactly. So earlier in the match, they were chanting. 4 minutes ago, they were saying break his neck.
Yeah.
And now they're cheering for him.
If you can change, that's all Austin needed here. And I can change, and we can all change. Something, whatever the fuck Rocky says. Something like that. I should know it by heart. Shit's on TBS every, 3 weeks. It's a Rocky Marathon on TBS or AMC. And I watch them all the fucking time.
So what do you give for a skull rating?
Skull rating?
Match?
I'm going to give it 1.5 skulls.
1.5?
Yeah.
All right, I'll go 2 skulls. I think Austin did a decent job with what he could do. He's still very injured.
Yeah.
It's still exciting. He's exciting what he does in the ring. Won the title. Some good heel work from Owen Hart in this match. The pre-match and the post-match was entertaining. So, kind of as a whole, is how I'm judging this one. Not just the 4-minute match, but just the entire segment of it all. I'll give it 2 skulls. I'd basically give it 1 skull for just Austin being there.
Yeah.
That's 1 skull. Then, you know.
Says there, that's a skull. Yeah, you got a point.
Yeah. Then I'll add another skull for the entertainment value of it. Well, 2 skulls. So obviously we know that the Montreal Screwjob happens next in the event, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. And there's nothing that I can really add to it other than, stuff that I've already said that seemed like a nice long work.
Yeah.
Long con type of work. Where, we'll never know, as I've said before, so I want to go further into it. We'll never know.
But from a just from a pay-per-view perspective, this Survivor Series actually kind of sucked. If not for that,
yeah.
the match, the Montreal Screwjob match itself is nothing. I watched it again. I'm like, holy shit! It takes like 10 minutes for the bell to even ring for the match to start because the whole time they're just brawling outside the ring, buying. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's kind of like if you're in it for the wrestling part, the actual matches, you kind of got screwed. Between the IC title match and the World Heavyweight Championship match, it's really not much of a match. The Screwjob match might be like 12 minutes tops.
So you're saying Survivor Series was a Screwjob?
Yeah, it was a Screwjob all around.
To the fans.
Yeah, it wasn't that great of a pay-per-view. I'm like, this card is kind of bad. Even the Montreal Screwjob, like the moment is great. Obviously, it might be the greatest moment in wrestling history, the Montreal Screwjob.
Right. But the match, no.
But the match itself, it's like, oof.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's why it's remembered, and that's why people, that's what the first thing they think about with Survivor Series '97 is a Screwjob.
But you know what? The second thing they should be thinking of?
What's that?
It's the first time The Rock does his elbow.
Oh. Right.
I did a little bit more research in the episode, the Shotgun Saturday prior. He kind of does he does an elbow, but there's no theatrics to it. It's just kind of like a shitty boom, drops the elbow. Yeah, but this here he takes the arm pad off. He does the trot, takes the elbow pad off, then drops it. Obviously, the theatrics grow. He takes it even further from there. But I would. And you can't really find much online that kind of says it's his first, but I mean, as far as without the elbow pad, this was the first time he used the elbow.
Right, and we're going to see him really grow into his character over the next month. So next week, we'll be talking a lot about all the things that become major staples of the character, The Rock. So he's starting it right here. As he's getting more comfortable as a heel in the nation, that's when he starts to do all these things.
Yep.
Another notable side note here is you get the new Attitude commercial that they use about being tough and try to lace my boot, all that shit. And they introduced the new scratch logo.
Yep, classic.
Which they would use for a long time. And then when they changed the name to WWE, they still use the scratch logo. And they finally just got rid of it when they started to use the network logo. So, Scratch logo is probably one of the more memorable their logos. So that concludes Survivor Series, basically. Do you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I got nothing to add.
And because of what goes down with the Screwjob to Bret Hart, Owen Hart's going to be out of the picture for a little while, too.
Yeah, he's kind of like in, I think the whole Hart Foundation as a whole.
Yeah.
They're all just kind of like...
Yeah, they're not doing anything. They're all off the show. It's going to take like a month until Owen Hart gets involved again.
Yeah.
It's going to come back basically as a babyface, too.
And then down the line, so it's not right away he joins the Nation, right?
No, not right away.
I like that. I like his.
At first, he's on his own.
Yeah. I'm not a nugget.
Right, I'm not a nugget. No. Shawn Michaels calls him the turd in the hole that the nugget that just keeps coming back up. All right, so this will kind of wrap up things here. I just want to go through the house show rundown because he actually does participate in some matches leading up to Survivor Series to kind of just work out the kinks, I guess. So he returns on October 12th to a house show in San Jose where he accompanies Dude Love. And Dude Love has a match with Owen Hart. On October 24th, he does the same thing in Long Island with Dude Love. This time, Dude Love's having a match with Bulldog. It was supposed to be tag team match, but Austin wasn't ready, so they changed it last minute. Austin finally has a match on October 25th in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and Austin's going to have a match against Triple H. He's going to pin Triple H. The next night in Bushkill, Pennsylvania, he's going to pin Triple H on November 7th, Toronto, so just right before the Survivor Series. It's going to be Austin, Mankind, and Undertaker defeating Bret Hart, Bulldog, and Neidhart. Then on the 8th in Detroit, Michigan, Austin, Bulldog, and Neidhart again. So that's the last match for Bret Hart prior to the Shawn Michaels match at Survivor Series, having a match with Austin, Mankind, and Undertaker. All right, so that's the house show rundown. Next week, as I was talking about throughout the episode, here and there, I was making a couple of points of that. Next week, we'll be talking about The Rock. Okay, so on episode 17, we're covering the rest of November, December of 97, and build up to Austin versus The Rock. First time, Austin versus The Rock at In Your House D-Generation X pay-per-view. IC title. So that'll be next. Give a couple shout-outs to our brother podcast, Talking Taker. Okay, so Talking Taker, Alex and Travis, they break down the career of The Undertaker, much like we do here on the Bottom Line Cast. And next week is the coverage of Judgment Day 2001, which is Austin versus The Undertaker. So something that we'll get to time to come, but they're covering it this week. So if you want more Austin, check out Talking Taker this week on Friday, Thursday or Friday. Also, special thanks to Booking the Territory podcast, the Unprofessional Wrestling podcast. They gave us a nice little plug on their most recent episode where they let their fans know about the Bottom Line Wrestling Cat. So hopefully our listenership will grow gradually with the help of the Booking the Territory, and also Talking Taker does a very good job giving us plugs every single week too. So thank you guys for your support. On Booking the Territory this week, they're covering September 1987, September 26, 1987 episode of Saturday Night. And then on their Smoky Mountain Wrestling episode, which is on Sunday, they will be covering June 18th, 1994. You can find us at Twitter, at BottomLineCast, at BottomLineCast. And also you can find me at MPRU83. And you can find JV at John Van Damage, at John Van Damage. JV, any final words?
I have no final words this evening.
All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week with the People's Champ. So long.